Hi, I am Leonardo Gabrielli and I'm the author of the book Developing Virtual Synthesizers with VCV Rack, edited by Focal Press. That's the book. I know that many of you already bought it and are reading it, and many people are asking questions about this. So I wanted to provide answers to some frequently asked questions and also get a little work through the book to give you an idea of the content. All right? Now, for those of you who don't know what VCV Rack is, it's a software platform for modular synthesis. It means you can build patches and synthesizers connecting single modules. The platform is open source. It means that you can develop your stuff, read the code of the others, and it's a great resource for learning and growing your opportunities to be a developer in DSP and in sound synthesis. The platform is developed and released by VCV, which is a company owned by Andrew Belt, who is the great mind behind this software. The aim of the book is to get you started to DSP coding, starting with very simple modules such as a comparator, a divider, a clock generator, and so on, a sequencer. And then we will get to more complex stuff such as envelope generators, filters, and oscillators. We will get to modal synthesis, for example, and a lot of other stuff. And in this process, you will grow your knowledge about coding for audio processing and about basic concepts of sound synthesis. We will also get to know more about GUI stuff. So we will have a chapter dedicated to your user interface and user interaction. And there's a module specifically for this. And then there are more advanced topics such as creating expanders, which is a feature of VCV Rack, debugging code, how to maintain your code, a lot of other stuff as well. I will also give you some ideas to continue after this book, pointers to more advanced readings, software projects you could start, or even hybrid hardware and software projects you could do with VCV Rack, such as this one. I will talk about this later in another video. Now, some of the questions that have been asked since the book was out in February. First one, is there a lot of maths in this book? Am I able to understand it? Well, of course there's DSP, so there must be some equations here and there, but it's not a big deal. I wrote this book with the intent of satisfying a very broad audience. So for those of you who have a mathematical background as a major, you had engineering studies, it's really easy. For those of you who are more into creative stuff, well, I will give you pointers in the text where you can skip things you might not understand at once or you don't really need, because there's a whole chapter with the theoretical stuff. I wrote this for undergraduate or even graduate students with the only intent to have, some solid background covered in this book. But then, in the practical part of the book, you don't really need to know all this stuff from a very formal point of view. And in this theoretical chapter, I do a lot of mappings between theory and practical concepts in music, like bucket brigade delay, a synthesizer, oscillator, this kind of stuff. You will get to know how the mathematical concepts map into practical things you use in your own studios to produce music. Now, second question, Do I have to know much about coding, C++ development? Well, the answer is yes, you have to know something about this. I will not cover the basics of C coding. That's why there's a lot of very good resources out there. While for the DSP part, I had to write something on my book because there's a lot of different point of view in DSP theory, and I wanted to have one that is more practical and oriented to music processing. For the coding, there's a lot of very good books out there that are easy to grasp and cover the basics of C, C++. You should go rather straight to C++, but if you have C background, in general, when we write DSP code, we are more, let's say, low level, so not a lot of very high level C++ stuff, but of course, it's C++ syntax. And now the last question. Is the book covering sound design, synthesis techniques, patching, or yeah, the modules that are in VCV Rack? The answer is no. This is not a book about musical performance, synth patching, or sound design. The main objective of the book is to introduce the reader to the development of virtual synthesizers by designing algorithms and implementing these in C++. Of course, I will take care of introducing a bit how VCV Rack works, its interface, and the fundamental modules that are provided with it. I will go briefly through these and provide a couple of modular setups so that you will learn how to arrange modules and connect these to produce a simple synthesizer. Then, each chapter will make use of the freshly introduced modules with exercises and examples. So you'll get through the development of these single elements, the oscillator, the filter. How do I do that? How do I do it efficiently? And how can I make it more good sounding? I hope you'll enjoy the read and turn from a synth enthusiast to a synth developer. I wish you the best.